So, Zach, Dwayne Haskins was cut by the Washington football team. This happened after the team lost to the Carolina Panthers. Zach, I'm just going to jump right in. Zach, I think that this was the right move, not just for Washington, though. I think for Haskins as well. He got into some trouble off the field and was just not performing at the level that I think that the team was expecting him to perform at. And Haskins, this is the part that I really admire. He admits to all of that. He was performing well, both on the field and off the field. He fully acknowledges that. And there have been some other players, specifically when I think of RG3, Robert Griffin III, who has said, he's still young, so he's got time. So this move hopefully will benefit him, and most likely will for Washington as well. So like I said, I think it's a great move for the organization, kind of search for another quarterback to kind of help produce, and then for Haskins, again, so that he can grow more, specifically as a quarterback, that maybe he can be someone that helps lead any team in the NFL to success. So like I said, I commend Washington for making this decision, and Haskins for fully admitting that he was not producing at the level that he was expecting for himself.
So Haskins, like you kind of said, things didn't really work for him in Washington. So it's really not a shock that he's out. I think the interesting thing is he was a team captain at the beginning of this year. And then he goes from team captain to being cut. And that just kind of shows, I think, the spiral. I don't want to say Haskins is a bad guy. I don't think he is. I don't think what happened means that. I just think there's just a number of things that happened. He wasn't playing well on the field, and two big things, broke COVID-19 protocols twice, which caused problems for the team off of the field, particularly. And he's a kid from the area. He's from the DMV, so he played. So playing for Washington football team is like playing for his hometown team, and maybe that just hurt him more than it helped him. The pressure of trying to live up to your dreams as a kid, winning a Super Bowl with the team you grew up loving. That's gotta be tough. And so honestly, like you said, him leaving might help him more than it hurt. He honestly looked worse this year than last year, and he'll probably end up playing for someone in training camp. I mean, the guy's a former first-round pick, only a year removed from that, still really young, like you said, still has a chance to grow. And I think there was flashes of his talent over last year and this year. So I don't want to act like he's devoid of talent. That's just not the truth. I think there's talent's there. It just hasn't been fully realized and actualized, and I don't think it will in Washington at this point. I think too much has gone on, and I think the environment has become too detrimental for both him and the team that it was time to move on. But I don't want to say that he can't have a successful career in the future. I think one thing that I haven't heard talked about the situation is the move by Washington to get rid of him. It often takes a team a little too long to move on, and I think there's a very obvious situation that happens, and you can see it about 8 times a year at Soldier Field on Lakeshore Drive. I'm taking a shot right at the Bears. And I'm sure part of the reason why moving on was easier is the people who drafted Dwayne Haskins aren't in Washington anymore. It's a different brain trust, so they don't have the sentimental ties to picking Dwayne Haskins that Ryan Pace does with Mitchell Trubisky. So it's not quite the same situation, but smart. It's smart. Honestly, it's a good move by Washington. They still have Alex Smith, who's played phenomenal this year. Honestly, before he got injured last year, the team was 6-3 under his watch, so it's not like the man can't play football. For as much as everyone talks about him being a bust, he really quite isn't. He's good at football. He's just happens to be in the same class as Aaron Rodgers.
Not an easy class to be in. Not an
help.
easy class to be in.
Right. So I think Alex Smith being there, they either draft a quarterback this offseason or next. Alex Smith bridges. I think he has, if he can come back from this injury, he probably has a couple years left. So I just think it's a smart move. They have Alex Smith in the short term. They can get a quarterback in the long term. They made the playoffs, so probably getting a quarterback this year, you're probably looking more at the Kyle Trask, Mac Jones, maybe Zach Wilson if he falls, but Zach Wilson just seems to keep climbing boards, so that's hard to see. But yeah, I'm kudos to Washington for moving on from Dwayne Haskins and not letting him continue to be on the team and not succeed, and giving him a chance to reset himself, and you realizing it just didn't work. And that's okay. The draft is not going to work every time. You're going to draft players who just don't work out for your organization. The fit just doesn't work. And the quicker teams realize this, they can move on. And I think what they did was the right move, and for both sides. And I have to agree with you that
and Zach, I think that the fact that the big factor in this is still, I mean, he's only 23. I'm soon to be 24 this upcoming May, but he's still young. I think that's the important part. Like, and that's a lot of pressure for a 23-year-old to have, like, coming in. I mean, pretty much saying, as you said, team captain when he was like for your own home. I think especially having it be your own home area like that, I think puts so much pressure on you, because you're not just performing well for an organization. You're not performing just for a state. This is the place where you have grown up. Like, this could probably be his favorite football team that he grew up watching. Like, that's so much pressure, especially, as a kid. We all have those dreams of, or a lot of us have that dream of, being an athlete at that next level, whether it be football, basketball, baseball, hockey, whatever it may be. But to actually have that happen, and then that's a lot of pressure. As you said, there were some off the field issues that, kind of stirred some trouble. And the other thing is he admits to this. Like, it's not like he's hiding. He's upset at the organization. He fully admits, I'm not ready for this yet. I don't think this is the right place for me. And other NFL players have commended him for that. And then, as you said, props to Washington. They weren't going to drag this on, and they weren't going to try to force a puzzle piece to go in a place that wasn't ready, or that wasn't going to go. It's going to take a little time. But again, I really give props. This was a great thing overall for both sides. And again, props to Washington. They've been playing, I think, way better, especially, and we'll talk about this a little more in the next segment, but better than people expected. But props to both Washington and Dwayne Haskins, and we wish them both nothing but success for their future. Well, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe for similar content. And also, let's get a discussion going in the comments. We love to hear and debate with your opinions as well. And you can also check out the full episodes on all of the major podcasting sites. So once again, with Zach, I'm Tanner, and this has been Beyond the Stats.